Welcome back, and let's take you back to our top story now. Satawu says it's still studying the VBS report. It implicates a group of the union's officials. They were allegedly paid 1.5 million rand bribe late last year to facilitate a R1 billion deposit by the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa into VBS Bank. Well, let's explore this further. We also joined, of course, by Satawu spokesperson Zanele Sabela and, as mentioned earlier, our very own Zanele Sabela. Welcome to you both. Ms. Sabela, let me start with you. Are you prepared to name and shame these officials?
We don't know who they are. We have no idea who these people are. When I saw this yesterday, I looked frantically for the appendix, because it says the people are named fully in Appendix A. So I looked frantically for this Appendix A to find out who these people are. And we have no idea. So the names would help us greatly, because we have no idea who these people are.
Did you take the trouble to consult perhaps with the leadership of the union to find out who these people may have been?
They also have no idea. They also have no idea. Like me, they want to know who these people are that did this, that took this bribe. So we looked.
Have you asked the investigator, Mr. Motau?
No, we haven't, because as you can imagine, this was quite a shock yesterday. This was quite a shock. I know when I saw it first, I was really shocked. And there was a bit of a run around. And so this is what we're going to have to do. But then I also wonder, why is it those names are being withheld? Why is the advocate withholding those names? Because then they would be out there. Where you have the report online. The report is online. But those appendices are not available.
All right. Perhaps we will assist you here by giving you the contact details of the advocate concerned. Let's talk about this R1 billion deposit. Is the union's leadership aware of it, and what was it for? Where does the money belong to? Who does it belong to, perhaps I should say? Does it belong to PRASA, or was this money that belonged to the union?
Okay, so like I said, it was a shock to the leadership as much as myself. But the report does mention that these people, this group of union officials, were paid this bribe to facilitate the deposit from PRASA to VBS. As you know, we organize within PRASA. So whoever these faceless people are, they were meant to facilitate that because they have access to officials at PRASA.
You say in your statement, very short statement, that appropriate action will be taken. What are we talking here?
Well, what are we talking? There will be disciplinary action, and people will obviously be fired if they're found to have been involved in this. And you'll know that the advocate himself recommends that all these people that are named in here should face criminal charges. And certainly, that should happen.
All right. Let me bring you in, Zanele Sabela. You attempted yesterday to get a hold of Brian Shivambu, the brother of the EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu. How did that go?
That didn't end up well. I attempted to meet up with Brian Shivambu. I called him in the morning at about 9:30 after seeing that report and making a few phone calls within the EFF quarters and those who are close to Floyd Shivambu. They finally confirmed that he is indeed the brother. They assisted me with the cell phone number. I called him up, asked him to meet at a Randburg restaurant yesterday afternoon. He said, okay, we definitely can meet. Let me just call you in the afternoon. When I stepped out of the office to go and meet with him, that didn't end up in a fruitful manner. I ended up not seeing him. He basically ditched our meeting and disappeared into thin air. But ironically, this morning after calling him again, he did not pick up my phone call. I called him with a colleague's cell phone number here at work, and ironically, Brian Shivambu picks up and says, hey, Samkel, I can hear that it's you. I'm just driving my brother. I will definitely get back to you. Let me just finish my drive and I'll call you back. I'm still waiting for his phone call. Yesterday he didn't call me back. Only time will tell definitely if today he will call me back or not. But what we do know is that his big brother, Floyd Shivambu, is refusing to speak on the matter. The EFF top 6 leadership themselves, I spoke to one of the officials this morning saying that he doesn't want to comment on the matter. The EFF, through its spokesperson, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, has issued a statement. If I need any further clarity, let me speak to Mbuyiseni. But I will be trying to track down Brian Shivambu today. Hopefully he will agree to a meeting. But as things stand, it doesn't look like he'll agree to one.
Just very quickly, have you been able to do some background checks on him to find out, who is he, and is he a businessman? Why did he receive these monies? Did you even take the conversation there?
Well, Xoli, I did do a little bit of background digging. Fortunately for me, I'm a graduate of the Tshwane University of Technology, and that's where the young Brian Shivambu graduated last year alongside his big brother Floyd Nyeko Shivambu. So one could bring about the question, how does a 24-year-old man who's just graduated for his first diploma from the Tshwane University of Technology is able to score a gratuitous gift from VBS of just above 16 million rands into his business account. What I do know of him is that he's a frequent student activist of the EFF Student Command in universities. He mobilizes for the EFF Student Command. He's a former administrator of the EFF headquarters here in Braamfontein, and is also...
Okay, so there are links to the party.
There are links to the party. He was an organizer at the EFF's headquarters or administrator for the Economic Freedom Fighters at its headquarters in Braamfontein. He is involved in the EFF Student Command through organizing bashes of freshers bashes for students at these universities. So he is some sort of a businessman who operates in the university sphere of organizing bashes.
Any business entity
he's got a business
in his name?
He's got a business entity registered in his name, which is a trading and investment company, which is located in Randburg, where we were supposed to meet yesterday, where he said he was. So he is probably about 5 minutes down the road from us here in Randburg. We will definitely go out scouting for him to find his office premises and see whether he has indeed got business links, and did his brother have any undue influence with his relationship with Tony Mpepura Mabulane, whom is seemingly very close with the EFF top leadership. There are certain pictures that have emanated from Floyd Shivambu's Instagram page where they are celebrating the King's birthday party with the Economic Freedom Fighters, CAC, Julius Malema, which shows you there is a close relationship between the EFF's top brass leadership in the office of the presidency and the royalty of the Vavenda nation.
All right, Zanele Sabela, thank you very much for that detailed information. And just to mention, before I bring into the conversation an ANC official, mention here that the EFF had agreed to speak to us, and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, the national spokesperson of the party, had agreed to talk to us, but this morning we have since been struggling to get a hold of him. So hopefully we will talk to him at some point. He'll make time for us here. Let me bring into the conversation now Mr. Soviet Lekganyane. He is the provincial secretary of the ANC in the Limpopo province. Mr. Lekganyane, good morning to you. So you said you wanted concrete evidence on the issue of VBS. Well, the evidence couldn't have come any sooner. Mr. Denim Caesar, your provincial treasurer, is now implicated. How do you respond to this?
Good morning to you, Xoli, and your listeners. Let me indicate that on behalf of the African National Congress in Limpopo, we noted the contents of the report released by the South African Reserve Bank, and we are very disappointed that the report is fingering some of our senior officials in the organization and in government to have participated in this scandalous scam. We are very much worried about the damage this will do to the prestige and image of the African National Congress, but most importantly that a bank which has served rural communities is to collapse because of the indiscretion and avariciousness of some of our members. So we are going to convene an officials meeting today to express ourselves on the report, and then from there we should prepare for the entire leadership of the ANC, both the Provincial Working Committee and the PEC, to express itself on the report. And I think at that stage we should be able to come out communicating a consistent message to you as to what we think should be done.
Mr. Lekganyane, you mentioned that a number of your officials are implicated. You've tallied those numbers clearly. How many ANC members are implicated here over and above a senior official in the name of Denim Caesar?
Look, what we know is that the report is fingering our provincial treasurer, but you also know that we have 7 municipalities that have invested their monies with VBS, And we should also be interested to know what has been the role of each of our deployees in those respective municipalities. Because if you read the report suggests that some of these surreptitious activities might have been coordinated. And so if they have been coordinated, our deployees to respective levels in that sphere of government should come out and tell us how these were coordinated. But like I'm saying, all these details shall come out after we have had a series of those meetings, and decisions will be taken in those meetings as to how the matter should be processed.
Mr. Lkhanyane, in as far as Denim Caesar is concerned, your provincial treasurer, he is mentioned in the report as having been the middleman, the facilitator of the deals between municipalities and VBS Bank. Have you questioned him so far? We know that you've yet to hold your officials meetings, but will he be part of that meeting, and has he put some explanation as yet? In particular, how much did he receive here? Because he was mentioning to have received 2% per annum of the deals that he concluded.
Look, we did not act in common purpose as the PEC or as the officials. I would not know if there is commissions that he received. I would not know. He's still part of the officials. When we invite officials to a meeting, to an urgent meeting today, we have also invited him, and I don't think that I may have that authority individually to question him. We will go to a meeting, we will make a presentation of the report of the central bank, and our members in the officials who are affected by that report will also be given equal participation in that meeting. But let me tell you, the ANC, we do not only frown at corrupt activities. I think we must be seen coming out abrasively
in the interest of time,
that has the potential to damage our reputation.
In the interest of time, Mr. Lkhanyane, let me pose this also important question to you. Ms. Florence Radzilane, the mayor of the Vembe municipality, is she a member of the ANC?
Yeah, she is the deputy chairperson of the province.
What kind of action ultimately will be visited upon here, or what kind of action will the ANC take in as far as Denim Caesar and Florence Radzilane?
I can't preempt the discussions of the meeting. Remember, I was not elected alone. We are a collective. That's why I say to you, I have an administrative responsibility to call a meeting and say, comrades, here we are confronted with a very serious matter. The whole country, including Kolinkambi, are watching at us. The voters want to hear what we say as the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC. And once the PEC expressed itself on the report and made suggestions on what decisions must be taken, I think we should also be able to brief the National Executive Committee of the ANC on what we think should be done. That is the approach that I think the meeting will take. But as to what decision will be taken now, I think it will be unfair on my part to start to surmise and conjecture what should happen. I think it's sufficient to say, let's subject this to a meeting of the ANC. I'm available to come out and communicate whatever decision we shall have arrived at.
Mr. Lkhanyane, just two very, very important questions, and please be as brief as you possibly can. This particular scandal, these officials are involved in basically defrauding the poorest of the poor. Those people in Limpopo slept outside that bank waiting to withdraw their monies. How tainted is your party in the lead up, importantly, to this all-important election that we're going to? How is this going to affect your party?
Look, that's exactly what I'm saying, that all of us knew yesterday when the report came out pointing what activities could have taken place. But for sure, wherever you are now, you know that it is very, very bad for the African National Congress, for its prestige, for its image. We came out of the 54th National Conference with a theme that we should restore the organizational integrity of the ANC, but I can tell you this one is just wrecking the image of the ANC in the mud.
You said that, in fact, you were involved in attempts to try and make sure that this bank is saved. The lead investigator, Advocate Motau, is very clear that this bank cannot be saved. What now?
Look, I may not be in a position to comment on that one, but we are very sentimental about VBS. We sympathize with the communities, especially the rural communities of them. The VBS has done a lot for them, and for it to collapse the way it did due to bad governance, due mismanagement, due to pilfering of their resources. There is nothing we can do if recommendations point otherwise. But look, there is close affinity with VBS. It has improved the lives of the people of Zambia for the better. It is their cultural heritage. And we have always made a plea that if there was any way possible that the bank could be saved, let so be it.
Just finally, therefore, how long will it take you to study this report and respond comprehensively?
About studying the report. We are going to a meeting now. We want views. The report has been out for 24 hours. A matter as serious as this one can never be forever studied.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. That's Soviet Lekhanyane. He is the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Limpopo. Zanele Sabela, you had a conversation with him where you actually asked him on the record what they thought of this particular scandal. Your sense as you hear him speak now?
My sense is that PEC of the ANC, particularly the top five, is not united on this issue. They possibly speaking in two different tongues and pulling in two different directions. There is a list conference coming up of the ANC for premiership candidates, particularly in the province of Limpopo. The person implicated, the Vembe District Mayor Municipality, Florence Radzelani, also the deputy chair, is gunning for Premier Chupu Stan Matabata's position of premier in the province. This is going to be a war in the ANC, particularly within that province. You may possibly find that Stan Matabata is working with Soviet Lekhanyane and Baiskop Makamo, the Deputy Provincial Secretary, and Florence Radzelani is working with Denim Caesar and other PEC and other PWC officials going on to this list conference. This will be a draw card for the two factions in that province to whoever becomes the premier candidate for the ANC within that province. But also, more importantly, on the issue of Florence Radzelani, she asked for a Christmas gift and complained when she was given 300,000 rands that is too little, and juniors are getting way, way more in that pool of 1 billion rands that was looted out of VBS. So the small skeletons are tumbling out of the closet for every ANC official.
Well, let's see what Christmas gift she gets after the ANC applies its mind on her matter. Just finally, Zanele, the Satawu union has been embroiled in issues of financial mismanagement, particularly the union's funds. What is the status of the union in as far as that particular matter is concerned? Okay,
so currently you will know that we had Congress recently in September, the 15th and the 16th of September we had Congress, and we elected a new leadership, which is really committed to taking this union onto the right track. There has been a forensic audit that has been ordered. It's currently going on, and so those auditors were actually quite, just like us yesterday, were taken aback, and they're looking into that report also to see if maybe that will shine some light on where our funds are. As you know, that like you mentioned, it's a serious issue, and it's quite hard.
So the union, in summation of what you're saying, it's still in a financial pickle.
Yes.
Okay, all right, there you have it. Thank you very much for your time, Zanele Sabela. She speaks for the trade union Satawu, and of course our very own Zanele Masego. Thank you very much for your time, all right? When we return, we'll give you more news. This is eNCA Now.